Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel, sponsored by Indigo Communications. I'm Peter Martin. Tam McManus is here with me, and as you can see in the background, we are here at Anfield, ready for match day 3 in the Champions League. It's Liverpool against Rangers. Does it get any bigger? It's going to be a cracking game. Really looking forward to it tomorrow night, Tam.
No, it's going to be a cracking game. I think that when the draw was made, this was the game that stood out for Rangers supporters. You know, Liverpool home and away. You know, a huge club with a huge European tradition. They'll come down massive underdogs. You know, we spoke about the Battle of Britain, the last Battle of Britain against Leeds United, but I think Rangers were spending just as much money at that point than Leeds. There's a huge financial disparity now between the clubs, so Rangers will have to come down, play out their skin, and hope Liverpool have an off night to get a result. Yeah,
I was reading so many of the comments from pundits and journalists alike, and I think the key that Michael Owen pointed out was it's a boxer's chance for Rangers. There's always that sucker punch. There's always that one-off match where something special happens. I can remember being down in Manchester watching Leeds United against Rangers on a television there, when Rangers shocked them and silenced the stadium at Ellen Road, you know, with that fantastic Mark Hateley goal. It was absolutely incredible. It's going to take something special, I think. Rangers need to score first, I think, to be in with a chance to lift their spirits.
I think so as well. I think if Liverpool get an early goal, it's going to be a long night for Rangers. Rangers have to be brave. They have to get up the pitch. They can't sit too deep, you know, and invite Liverpool on. They've got to be brave in possession, you know, and try and beat that initial press. Liverpool are going.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's just a Liverpool fan with no brains. Trust us to find one. On you go.
No, they've got to break that initial press, and the Liverpool are going to come. They're going to press Rangers high. Rangers have got to show quality, but if they can get by that midfield and get Ryan Kent on the ball, maybe Matondo if he plays, I think they can cause Liverpool problems at the back. I think 8 goals in the last 3 games Liverpool have conceded. So Rangers will fancy their chances if they can get opportunities.
Yeah, I've just come out of the Liverpool press conference. I think, as you would imagine, all the questions early on from the English journalists were focused on Liverpool's back line, the fact that they're conceding goals. They've had 4 draws already. I think Fulham, Crystal Palace, Everton, as well as the game against Brighton at the weekend. They've lost to Manchester United. They're off the pace. And I think everybody was talking about how you're going to solve this problem. And Jurgen Klopp was trying to keep a lid on this and just saying, look, calm, we're working away at it. And I think the players, especially the Greek left back Tsimikas, was mentioning they're looking to this match to build their confidence up again.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking to get a result. I think that they need a result. I think that Napoli, you know, away from home was a shocker for Liverpool. You know, so, you know, I think Napoli and Ajax are going to be competitive in this group. I don't think Rangers are, unfortunately. So Liverpool will be looking to win this game tomorrow night and get back into the top 2 positions.
It's amazing when you look at the quality and the strength. And I apologise to every Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen fan, all the others who say, wait a minute, that's what we face when it's Rangers and Celtic domestically. Absolutely, but you can only deal with the game that we're talking about. And Liverpool against Rangers is what we're dealing with for tomorrow night. And when I looked at the Liverpool bench, Diaz sub, Darwin Núñez sub, Harvey Elliott, really promising midfielder for them, substitute, James Milner still firing in his late 30s. They've still got really good players to bring on to cause Rangers problems. I wonder what Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's tactic should be tomorrow night.
I think he's got to be brave. I think if Rangers have got any chance of getting anything out of the game, they've got to be brave. You know, they've got to go and get after Liverpool. There's no doubt that Liverpool are suffering a crisis of confidence defensively, so go and try and expose that at the back. Easier said than done. You know, you've got to be good in possession, you've got to create opportunities, but I think Rangers have got to try and play as much pace as they can, and that's where he's got a decision to make in terms of Čolak or Morelos. I think Morelos will run him behind more than Čolak. Does he play Ryan Kent will play? Does he play Tillman? Does he play Matondo? You know, he's got a lot of options up there. But I would try and load the top end of the pitch with as much pace and movement as I could.
Yeah, you think Čolak, if it was me, I would do what he did against Napoli, which is basically he's got to fit Alfredo Morelos, so throw him in there because he's a clever player. He can hold the ball up, he can get them further up the park.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think that when you look at Morelos in Europe in particular last season, you know, he caused a lot of top teams problems, and Čolak, it'd be difficult for him to drop him after scoring 2 goals at the weekend, but Walter Smith, you know, used to drop Chris Boyd. You know, from domestic games, Boyd would score 2 and 3 goals and then find himself out the team in European games. I think it takes a different type of player. It's going to be a lone striker job. You know, a Kenny Miller type would be ideal for Rangers tomorrow night, but it might just be that Morelos suits that role better than Čolak.
Yeah, what team would you pick? Give us your view on it. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst got a big decision to make. Does he try and sit in, contain Liverpool, and just try and do the old quick 1-2, the sucker punch, the counter attack, and catch them? I think Rangers have to score first in this one. Give us your thoughts on it, and don't forget you can hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel as well. I was listening to Jurgen Klopp in the early press conference. I think by the time this programme finishes, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will be the man who's talking to us and giving us his insight, and we'll feature that on tomorrow's programme. But as far as today is concerned, Jurgen Klopp was mentioning the fact that European football against Rangers, Battle of Britain, might be slightly in his favour, but these games are special. They love the fact that they're playing Rangers. They want to embrace it. I think he's really looking forward to, back to back, going up to Ibrox. He said he's anticipating a special atmosphere, but he was also very complimentary about Scottish football, saying, look, we've got 2 or 3 players here, Ramsey, Ben Doak, Andy Robertson, of course. And he said more and more Scottish players are now starting to get into the English game and the international side in Celtic and Rangers, so he's aware that over the last 5 years our game is improving.
It is improving. I think that the key to that was Rangers last season. Getting to the Europa League final was fantastic, not only for Scottish football, but the eyes of Europe were looking in. A long time since we got to a final, a European tournament, and I think that the way Rangers played and the way they got there, I think was important as well. They played some terrific football, attacking football. It wasn't just into a big striker and typical Scottish way that they think of down here. They played some really continental European football and destroyed some top teams. So I think that the future's bright for Scottish football, and hopefully Rangers can come down tomorrow night and prove that we have got a good product up the road.
Yeah, and we've been speaking to a few Rangers fans. There is a fan zone, 2 or 3 fan zones as well, for people to enjoy the entertainment, the build up to it. Certainly it's a great city to enjoy as well. I mean, I've been round it so many times, Beatles tours, you name it, Tam. It's a wonderful city with brilliant people.
Yes, and I think Glasgow and Liverpool are similar. It's working class, blue collar people that are from Liverpool and Glasgow. The people here we've been about today, chatting away, very friendly. I'm sure the pubs and the clubs will be desperate to get some business, some custom from Rangers supporters in, and they'll get and enjoy themselves, have a few drinks, and hopefully they'll come down and get a good result. For Rangers, they're big underdogs to win the game, but even to score a goal, for those 2,000-3,000 fans inside Anfield, if Rangers can score a goal and have that little moment of delirium, where they all can go mad. I don't expect Rangers to get a result, but I think they're capable, well capable of scoring a goal at least. Yeah,
and of course you can do the museum, which you managed to sneak in there. I don't know if you should have paid, but you just waltzed in anyway, didn't you?
I did. I walked in, I didn't see anybody in the counter, so I done the old Glasgow trick and just put my head down and walk through.
Yeah, great to see that. And of course people can go into the shop and the stadium tour. I think the stadium tour is 17 quid, maybe a bit steep for yourself, Tam, and me. And then I just look over there at the Champions Wall, and it's 19 titles, 6 European Cups, 8 FA Cups, 3 UEFA Cups, 9 League Cups, 4 Super Cups, and of course the FIFA World Club Cup as well. It's steeped in history, this place.
No, listen, you're just walking about here and you can see that the whole history, the legends of the past, the Shanklys, the Dalglish, Sheen, Rush, they're everywhere about here, and it's a massive club, Liverpool. It's a huge club, not only in English terms but in European terms, one of the biggest clubs in the world. So Rangers are at the elite level tomorrow night, and this is where they wanted to be. It's going to be tough for them, but when you think of where they were 10 years ago, to get to now is massive progression. So they'll come down here, and I think they'll want to enjoy it and try and be competitive against Liverpool.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on that. Of course, the real bonus is that there's 3 points from that game at Tynecastle. That's a confidence booster, because Hearts didn't lay a glove on them. Rangers were out of the traps, flying. Čolak at his usual again, scoring goals. He can hold his head up high from his start at Rangers. Morelos chipping in, and Kent with a wonderful goal as well.
Yeah, I think it was important for Rangers to get back on track domestically. A great result. Hearts, we all expect to be third this season. Rangers took care of them comfortably. A lot of players get minutes. Morelos come on, Čolak done his job, come off. Morelos come on, look sharp. Scored, could have scored another couple. But I think the important one for me and for Rangers supporters is Ryan Kent scoring. I think it's been nearly a year since he scored a goal. His confidence must be at his boots, and for him to come on, score a great goal, and he'll take that confidence into tomorrow night. He'll want to come back here to Anfield. A point to prove. Jurgen Klopp let him go. obviously didn't think he was good enough for Liverpool, so I think Ryan will come back with a huge point to prove and want to put on a show.
Yeah, just one little footnote to that. I thought it was left a sour taste in my mouth. Unusual for him. I know Giovanni Van Bronckhorst was rather sympathetic towards him, but it was a bad challenge by Cammy Devlin. He's a good midfielder, doesn't really need to add that to his game. Worthy of the red card?
No, 100%. I think there's no doubt about that. And you see the reaction from the Rangers bench. That was a bad tackle. I don't think he's intentionally doing him, but he's went over the top with a stamp, and it was a clear red card. And Rangers 2-0 down at that, Hearts 2-0 down at that point. There was no way back for them. It was all about trying to keep the score respectable. Yeah,
and just after that positive result against Riga, Hearts now have to try and pick themselves up for Fiorentina, which will not be easy at Tynecastle.
No, won't be easy. But I think Hearts have got a wee sniff if they can get a result against Fiorentina. I would expect them to beat Riga twice. I think they're poor, but obviously the other two teams are very good, Istanbul as well, so if they've got any aspirations to get in that top two, I think they've got to win that game.
OK, it was a good win for Rangers against Hearts in the Scottish Premiership. That put Rangers top of the table, albeit for a couple of hours, because Celtic knew if they could defeat Motherwell by 2-1, then they were at the top of the table. They did get that win. It came at a cost. The captain, let's get to the nub of this, the captain got a red card. Was it a worthy red card?
Oh, a definite red card. I mean, I've seen some Celtic supporters on social media thinking, there was a covering defender. Now, unless that covering defender was Usain Bolt, he wasn't getting back in. But I think it was a great red card for Celtic. I think if he gets through and scores, 2 each, all of a sudden you're talking about, a little bit of a mini crisis at Celtic. So I think it was a great red card to take a professional foul and Celtic get the win 2-1. That's all that matters. I don't think it was a sparkling performance from Celtic, but they get the 3 points and they march on again.
It seemed to have gone off the boil in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think so. I think that St Mirren result has just dented the confidence. I think they thought they were maybe a little bit invincible, up until then. That result has just, there's a few players that maybe just off the boil at the minute. Jota, Kyogo missed a few chances, so they're not firing on all cylinders, and the Celtic supporters expect sparkling football every week now.
Yeah, and of course they're going to fly out to Germany to face Leipzig, and that, apart from those disappointing results and the way they're playing at the moment, I think a lot of people are looking and saying, well, Celtic, on the basis of Shakhtar, where they should have won the game, should they be confident going into the match against Leipzig?
I think they should. I think that Leipzig are in better form. I think they won 4-0 at the weekend, a new manager in. So I think they've had a boost from that, a lift from that. But Celtic, these 2 games against Leipzig back to back will determine what Celtic are going to do. If they can take 4 points from it, then I would expect Celtic to beat Shakhtar at home, and I think that might be enough. I think the Real Madrid game could be a dead rubber at the end, so if Celtic have got any aspirations, they need to go over and get at least a point.
Yeah, fingers crossed that Celtic and of course Rangers could do something here. Now, that's Celtic and Rangers, but what about elsewhere? Got to talk about Aberdeen. 4-1, the Dons slowly but surely, I don't want to put the kiss of death on them, but slowly but surely.
Are you going to give them some credit this week?
I'm definitely going to give them some credit, because the boy Miovski apparently is saying he could end up the top scorer.
I like that confidence from him, especially if he gets penalties every week.
there's the 2 Rangers boys. They're very, very confident indeed. They've got the flag out and everything. Fantastic. So with a bit of luck, well, he's going to come over. We might as well get him over. You can tell it's madness, but come on, hurry up, get the sun in as well. Come on. Right. There's the flag. So, first and foremost, give us your name.
Derek Davidson.
Right, Derek, come in here. And is this your son?
That's my son.
Derek, what's your name?
I'm Callum Davidson.
Callum, oh, good name. Right, brilliant. Right, so, confident?
Yes. Yes, we're really confident.
Right, okay, so I now know you've had about 5 jars. Let me first of all, Tam, you can put the mic across to the son. Callum, it's a big game for Rangers. It's going to be brilliant in that stadium tomorrow night. They've spent millions. Do you still think Rangers can get them with a sucker punch and get a win here?
Aye, big Kolak with a hat-trick hitting. We'll beat them 3-0.
Callum, I love your confidence. That is magnificent. Right, let's speak to your old dad. Okay, good win against Hearts. So, what in your mind is suggesting that, or what would you like Giovanni Van Bronckhorst to do as far as the game plan is concerned against this team?
You've just got to go against them and attack the way Brighton done it against them the other day. So, and I think we could maybe sneak a wee 2-1. So that's the way I feel. 2-1 to Rangers.
If it finishes 2-1, you know, Callum, you don't need to get a car back up the road. The two of you will just fly up with that flag. Brilliant. What else are you going to do? You down for the 2 days?
2 days. We're back on Wednesday, so back up the road Wednesday. So we're just staying right there, so it's even better.
Tremendous.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Well, we've got nowhere to stay, so we might as well chum in. Yeah, Callum, we're lying. We've got somewhere to stay. Well, listen, by the way, thanks for joining us. Brilliant, Callum.
Cheers.
Good luck
All the
for the
best
game,
tomorrow.
and we'll see you in there. Magic,
Cheers.
there you are. Can't get any better. Couple of Rangers fans, super confident. That's what you want, Tom.
3-0 Cholak. I'm going to the bookies to put a fiver on that, by the way. I've got a bit of multi to one. Because I think he might be onto something.
Aye, that's good, isn't it? That's
I
brilliant.
love that. Listen, the Rangers fans will come down. They'll want to get a result. I think in the back of their mind they'll know they're big underdogs, but in football you never know. There's been bigger upsets, you know, in football history than Rangers coming down here and getting the result. So if Rangers play really well on the night and Liverpool have an off night and don't defend right, then you never know.
Yeah, don't you just love it when when people just walks by with the flags and everything? Maybe not a good idea it was to do it live here tomorrow night, Sam, because I don't think we'll survive. Anyway, apart from that, good to get their thoughts on Rangers and how they're faring. Well, we're talking about Aberdeen. Miovski's playing well, scoring goals for fun. 4-1. Kilmarnock, they look as if they're in trouble.
They do. I think they've been terrible away from home. I think they've lost every away game. But Aberdeen, I think 15 goals in 4 home games. You know, I think the Aberdeen supporters will be liking what they're seeing under Stephen Glass. You know, they weren't scoring goals. They were poor to watch. And I think Jim Goodwin's now got a good squad together. Johnny Hayes looks a player revitalised. I think he had 2 or 3 assists. So, you know, alongside Majovski, they've got a real competition for places. So I think Aberdeen will be. I did say that at the start of the season. I thought they'd be good this year.
Yeah, if Ryan Porteous is going to do the lottery this week, I think he might win it as well. What a season! Hey, it's all turned in a couple of weeks. He's playing for Scotland, gets 10 out of 10. Undoubtedly for me, man of the match. Now he's taking free kicks. I'm surprised he doesn't take corners and try and get in on the end of it.
Oh, it's been a brilliant couple of weeks for Ryan Porteous to make his debut, his first start in Ukraine. I think that's gave him tons of confidence. I think he gets up there, you know, he scores the opening goal for Hibs, you know, gets a clean sheet. You know, as you said, taking free kicks, you know, throw-ins, by kicks. You know, he's on top of the world at the minute, and long may that continue. I think he's a really talented player, and as he's now getting rewards. People are now seeing how good he is, I think, after that Scotland game.
Yeah, Boyle scoring as well, as ever. The Hibs fans well happy with the journey down from Dingwall. St Johnstone, I tipped him to go down. I'm starting to think to myself, there's only going to be 2 or 3 clubs involved in that bottom end. It's more and more looking like it's going to be Dundee United, Kilmarnock, possibly Ross County. And on the evidence of St Johnstone against Dundee United, Stevie May scored a lovely goal, and they looked super confident winning that game.
Yeah, I think St Johnstone have been revitalised, I think, for a couple of signings. I think Jamie Murphy in particular and Nicky Clark. I think both of those have gave them a little bit of a cutting edge at the top end of the park. They're scoring goals now. They're keeping clean sheets. They're doing well defensively, and I don't think there'll be any problem at all at the bottom. St Johnstone. I think the 3 you mentioned are going to be the 3: Ross County, Kilmarnock, and Dundee United. And Dundee United, you know, bottom of the league, 2 points. You know, Liam Fox. They've got a hard road ahead.
Let's talk about the team of the moment, St Mirren.
My brother-in-law will be happy with that.
I know,
At the
I
game.
was just about to say to you, 5 wins out of 6. I watched them. The first half was the worst first half I've ever seen. The second half, suddenly St Mirren, you know, they just managed to take their opportunities at the right time. And by the way, they were down to 10 men. There was a red card for Ayunga. He handled the ball. He gets sent off. Then Sean, I know, it's a great save. Sean Kelly skies it over the bar. But I thought Livingston created the better chances, and I think Stephen Robinson, I mean, David Martindale after the game couldn't believe it.
Yeah, listen, just looking at the highlights, I think Livingston are obviously a little bit unlucky. They'll feel hard done by, but if you don't defend properly, then you're going to get punished. And no, he let, I think it's boy Grieve, the substitute, come
Grieve.
on. Yeah. The defender can't let him turn and put that in the net. It's pure defending, and that's what cost him a point. Sean Kelly, poor penalty kick as well. But Bruce Anderson getting the goal, so listen, I think Livingston again will be okay. I think they'll be fine. But St Mirren, a surprise package, 3rd in the league.
Yep.
You know, and I think they lost the first couple of games. So, and Stephen Robinson was under pressure after the League Cup campaign, where they went out early doors as well. So he's turned it around very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair play to him as well. And of course, they got the win back of scoring that first goal. Second half, much better. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And you can keep up to date with all the Scottish Premiership games right across the whole week. We've got reporters out there. Adam Binney, Kerry Pollock's out there. Of course, we're covering games. Alison McConnell as well with her coverage at the Scottish Premiership games. And I've been out there myself at as many games as I can possibly find on the card that I can go and see to get a real flavour of Scottish football. You can give us your thoughts on your favourite team, how they're playing, and don't forget, if you subscribe on our YouTube channel, you're joining the football family. Thousands of people are coming up to us. You only have to look at Tam. We're in Lonehead. People have got it on their tellies. They're enjoying it every day.
You have to give them a mention, that couple, Jeff and
Jeff and Jeff.
No, they were great yesterday, and
yeah.
they tune into the show every week, but that's getting bigger and bigger, and there's a lot more people tuned in now.
Yeah, and if you download the app, you get all the breaking stories right across the UK, Europe and world football as well. I'll be going back in there shortly because Giovanni van Bronckhorst is going to conduct the press conference with a player. I would imagine James Tavernier is the favourite to be chatting about the fantastic atmosphere and what he's looking forward to for Rangers coming up against Liverpool here at Anfield. So we're really looking forward to it, and we'll bring you throughout and right across our social media channels. We'll bring you what Giovanni van Bronckhorst had to say in the press conference, and over and above that, throughout the week we'll be looking ahead to Leipzig against Celtic and Hearts against Fiorentina. So it's a full card of stuff. I'm looking around here. We've already been into the shop. We've got a few mementos here and there. We've looked at some of the murals on the walls here. It's steeped in Liverpool at Anfield, and we're looking forward to a brilliant game. Tomorrow on the programme, Stephen McGowan from the Daily Mail will be joining us, and we'll be chatting about the game in greater detail ahead of it, and we'll also look ahead to those other European matches and all the other emerging stories. I have to say, just before we go, thoughts I think from everybody on the football show to the people in Indonesia who are now grieving. For 125 people to die at a football match is an absolute tragedy, one of the greatest tragedies I think in world football, and I think, frightening scenes when you see the two teams eventually watching their fans come onto the park and tear gas thrown in as well to the fans, and it was a tragic ending, and I think our condolences and our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone.
100%. I mean, it was horrible scenes. You see that people getting trampled on, and tear gas and supporters. We thought that we'd left that well behind in the past, and so many people have lost their lives, so thoughts with everyone. Yeah, absolutely. And here today, as well as the history of Anfield, you only have to look at the memorial to the 97 fans who lost their life at Hillsborough to realise what it means here at this club facing up to tragedy. So our thoughts with everybody in Indonesia. Here today, it's quiet, but I'll tell you, by the time all the Rangers and Liverpool fans come here, it's going to be absolutely bouncing here at Anfield. I'm looking forward to it. Tam, myself, will be in there sampling the atmosphere and hoping that Rangers can come out with a positive result. So with that in mind, thanks for joining us. It's a shortened show today. It'll be a longer one tomorrow with Stephen McGowan of the Daily Mail joining us, from Tam and from myself, Peter Martin. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.